Let's talk a little bit about faith. It's going to be one of those weird ones where I just pop this video in because it kind of hit me as I needed it to hit me. The reason I am very proudly Christian is that it takes faith to believe in something you don't see. In business, in life, in marriage, whatever it may be, having kids, you're going to have faith in the outcome. And faith only happens when you don't have a full picture of what's going on. You can't have faith when you know exactly what's going to happen. If you have faith, it means there are doubts. It's okay. I think people get so lost and confused in this idea that you can't have doubts if you have faith. Well, the only time to have faith is when there is doubt coexisting with the faith. Because if you knew something was going to happen, if you knew your business was going to work, you'd go all in on it. You don't need to have faith. You see what's happening in front of you. Now, I bring up the Christian piece because faith is an idea of things unseen, right? Like you have a belief that there is something beyond this world based on your experience of this world, but not because of this world. Because if you look around and see all these things going on, you can't understand how people hurt one another, right? Like the idea that there's an almighty God, why would he allow this to happen? And if you want me to answer that question or give you my interpretation, I will one day. But faith has this idea that you don't know what the outcome is. You have no idea what the outcome is for your business. You have no idea what the outcome is of your marriage. You have no idea, when you start dating someone, you kind of, I don't know about people nowadays, but if you're someone watching this and you're a high value man or woman, you have this idea that you date for the purpose of getting married. You're gonna date because you expect something out of this relationship. Otherwise, why are you wasting your time? And I think there's this idea that if you just enjoy what's going on right in front of you, what's right now, you never get to the point where you can have faith in something long term. Because you're so focused on what's right in front of you, you don't need to have faith. That's why you see all these people struggling in relationships. That's why you see so many people who are unhappy. It's because they don't understand what it means to have faith. So when I was dating my wife, obviously there's this assumption that you're dating other people while you're not in a committed relationship. But as we started to get to know each other more, as we grew together, as we talked more, as we found ourselves falling in love, you have a faith like, hey, I don't know what marriage is going to be like. I don't know what's going to happen in the world. I don't know what's going on in XYZ places, but I have faith in what we have moving forward from the perspective of what we know. And I know that kind of contradicts what I said earlier about faith, where you have to have doubts, right? Like human to human, she understands me as best she can. Human to human, I understand her as best I can. And I learned it from Jordan Peterson, where you don't know who they are. And people are gonna be like, oh, you should know your wife. Yes and no, because as a human, I have things going on in my head. I have a history and I have goals that I do not fully express to my wife because the way I understand it is not going to be the same how she understands it. She has goals, she has a past and history and things that she wants to think about moving forward that I will never understand because I don't know how she thinks about it. But you come to that understanding that and you have faith in what is moving forward. So the reason I bring up the Christian part is that there is no proof in front of me that says that this is what is going to happen in the future. And I like working with people who are Christian because they have an understanding that I do not have a guarantee that what will happen in the future is going to happen. As a Christian, you believe that you're guaranteed salvation by following and believing in Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. That's fine. But there's nothing that says, here is a cup, I give them too much money. I'm not going to show their brand because they don't pay me enough for this. Here's cup. I know this cup exists. I have faith this cup is there because I see it right in front of me. In your work, in your business, there are things you are looking at and you want more from. You want to make more money. You desire more money. You have a goal that you want to reach that costs more. You have a goal for your marriage that's going to take time. But right in front of you, you don't have the proof of it. If you have an idea, like Steve Jobs didn't have an iPhone in front of him when he said, I'm going to make an iPhone. Steve Wozniak didn't have a MacBook in front of him and he said, I'm going to make Apple computers. People who make these cups don't have an idea of like, I'm going to make this because I'm going to make it, right? You don't have an idea of what is actually going to happen. You have to have faith in the future. And faith has some form of doubt. If you start a business, you have to go in with the understanding that you're not going to know what's going to happen. You have no idea what's going to happen. And this is why faith is such a beautiful thing. When you have faith that something's going to work out, it exists already, I already thought of it, I can make it happen, I will make it happen. And you have that faith, you push away all doubt because you say, this is not seen yet. So people who don't understand my concept won't be able to understand what I'm saying until it happens. But at the same time, you have to, we all say that, right? Like, you won't understand this business until later. Like overnight success. There's an Aaron Watson song where it's like, yeah, I'm a 10-year overnight success. Because you don't see all the work that goes into creating something. No one sees all the work that went into creating Apple as an industry. No one sees all the work that goes into making Olympians, right? You don't see the years of dedication and work it takes to get to that level. But when you start to see, you're like, oh, they've always been like that. No, they never had faith that it would happen. They had to have faith that the Olympics would happen so that way everything they worked for would get to that point. But they focused on what was in front of them. And there's a balance there, because as you focus on what's in front of you, you start to forget about what's going on in the background. You have to have faith on what is going to happen, but at the same time, focus on what's in front of you. But as you focus on what's in front of you, like I see this thumb, I have broken thumb. I had suffered broken thumbs in high school playing sports. So I have this in front of me, right? So I see this, I know what's gonna happen. As I do this exercise, I have faith that it's gonna work for me, but I don't see what's going on. But I have faith in doing it. Just as in your business, in religion, in your marriage, you have faith in what will happen, and day to day, you have to focus on what's in front of you. But that focusing on what's in front of you stems from the fact that you have faith in what's going on forward, not the other way around. Because when you focus on what's in front of you and you derive your faith on what's in front of you, you're gonna get lost. As you think about business, you may be struggling. You may be trying to spend tens of thousands of dollars on coaches and training and hiring people to build out your website, but you don't see the money coming in, and you start to have that fear come in. You start fearing and wondering, okay, I see it, this money that's in front of me leaving, but I don't see the return. I'm scared. Because I'm scared, I'm gonna pull back. That's where faith has to kick in. Having this faith that I understand and trust this person and move forward with what I need them to move forward with, and then I can go forward. Because if you get in a fight with your spouse and your faith comes from the fact you're fighting with them right now, you're gonna think, okay, we're fighting right now. Is this what it's gonna be like forever? Versus, hey, this is a bump in the road. I understand this. We're gonna get through this because I have faith in what's building. If you have faith in your business and your work, you can look at what's right now as like, I'm struggling, this job sucks, I don't like these people, but I understand the goal, so I'm gonna move forward there. My wife had just passed her licensure for occupational therapy. As she moved forward, it was about having faith in the goal and what she wanted to do with the goal, versus if I only looked at studying today, I would hate it. I would hate doing this. Because every day is just another test, another test, another test, another test. Without that vision of the future, you get lost. So you have to focus on, why am I doing this and how does it build to that future that I have faith in? What is the thing that you are scared about that you don't have enough faith in to work on it today? It may be that business you're working on. It may be a side hustle. It may be just like making an extra $10,000 to pay off debt. Whatever it is, you have to have faith that it already exists outside of you, regardless of what you're seeing right now. Because if you focus only on what is right in front of you and what is right now in your current circumstances, in your current situation, you're gonna think that that's all there is, that's all I'll ever be. Why am I ever gonna think of any of that? And that's why 99% of y'all are gonna go to your deathbed wondering why you didn't do more with life. Because you didn't think about, in the future, what am I gonna say? Do I have faith in myself to do this? On that note, at the end of the day, it's you and you alone. And there are going to be people along the way who are going to help you. You can't expect people who don't understand your vision to understand you. Just like I said, I know my wife to a certain extent. She knows me to a certain extent. But she will never 100% know me. I will never 100% know her. You will never 100% know your parents. If you're watching this, you have parents. You exist somewhere. You don't understand. We joke about like, our kids will never understand what life was like before them, because there's only so much you can explain about life before they existed. I think about my parents, like there's a life that they lived before me as a married couple. There's a life they lived before me before they knew one another. You'll never know what has happened, what will happen, but you can focus on what is in front of you as you have faith in what is tomorrow. And as long as you wait on that faith and you work towards it faithfully, I believe in you, and I believe in whatever you're working faithfully towards. Hope you enjoyed this bonus lesson. I'm Lawrence with KandL. If you want to work with us, you know where to find all the stuff. If this guides you in some form or fashion, if this gives you the light and the push that you needed, you've been praying for a sign and here it is, give us a like. Subscribe for more coaching like this, mentoring like this, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace, love, and light. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night.